Hello! How's it going? Don't mind the wedding stuff in the background. It's a little busy back there, but that's okay. Today, we're going to go over order of operations. I think this is going to go into page 21 in your notebook. I'm going to double check when I get to school tomorrow, and it'll be typed out correctly on the playlist. So, double check the playlist. So, with order of operations, a lot of us in the past have heard of, you don't have to write this down. A lot of us had heard of PEMDAS, where the P stood for parentheses, the E stood for exponents, the MD stood for multiplication and division, and the AS stands for addition and subtraction. And that works for what you guys have had in the past. We don't like to do PEMDAS in middle school. We like to do Gemdas, where the G stands for grouping. And I'm going to show you on the notes what I mean when I say grouping. So when you think PEMDAS, we're going to try to get rid of PEMDAS. We're going to be thinking about GEMDAS now, okay? GEMDAS. So the G, like I said, stands for grouping symbols. This means that I have this group of stuff that I have to do before I can do everything else. And there's a few different kinds of grouping symbols that you guys will see. Parentheses. You guys will definitely be seeing parentheses in 6th grade. Brackets and braces. You won't see them in 6th grade, but you will see them next year as 7th graders. You'll see them as 8th graders. You'll see them in high school. Absolute value bars. Yes, we've learned about that this year. You will see absolute value bars, and that's a set of grouping. I have to do the math inside my absolute value bars before I find that absolute value, what that number is. A radical symbol or a square root symbol. Again, you'll see that next year as 7th graders. And then a fraction bar. We've also said that the fraction bar is also what operation? A means division. But sometimes you're going to have math on the top of the fraction bar and math on the bottom of the fraction bar that you'll have to do before you can do that division in the middle. So all these different things are different kinds of grouping. Next, E, we have exponents, which we've just been working on. There's 2 reminders for your exponents. If you have 5 to the 0 power, any number with an exponent of 0, what did we say that was equal to? Any number to the 0 power is equal to 1. It could be 5,000 to the 0 power. It's equal to 1. 1 to the 0 power is equal to 1. Any number to the 0 power is equal to 1. 5 to the first power, any number to the first power is that number. So 5 to the first power here for this situation would be 5. These are just important reminders that they have for us. If you want to use some of my highlighters in the tubs to help you sort these out, to help you remember. G is for grouping, and that's the stuff up here. Because y'all know highlighters help, that's why they're on your tables. That's all grouping stuff. E is for exponents. MD, why are multiplication and division on the same line? Why do those go together? Yeah, multiplication and division are on the same line because we do them left to right. We do multiplication and division all in one step. We just work going from left to right. Multiplication and division. A few reminders with multiplication and division. There's a lot of different symbols. There's a lot of different symbols for multiplication and division. So this first one that we see here, those are absolute value bars. But if there's no operation, if there's no adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing symbol between 5 and one of those absolute value bars, that means multiplication. That means multiplication when it's just side by side with something. 5 with that raised dot and 3, that's a multiplication dot. If it's below, it's a decimal, but up there, that means multiplication. We all know that the X means multiplication. Parentheses also mean multiplication. And then we're going to see this more later this year. When it's side by side with a variable, there's nothing in the middle. That's just math people being lazy, but it still means to multiply. So you could see any of those 5 different things for multiplication. Then here, for division, we have this slash, 15 divided by 3 like that. You'll still see every now and then this division symbol with the 2 dots, but you really don't see a whole lot of that as you get into higher levels of math. We're going to add one more down here that you will see a lot more of. And again, that's the fraction bar. This is another way to represent a fraction, but this fraction bar also means division, and you're going to see that a lot more as you're getting into higher levels of math. Lots more. And then the last bit, again, it's on the same level because we do addition and subtraction at the same time. We just work from left to right. It is important that for multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, you're going from left to right. Because if you're just doing random multiplication, division within the one problem, you're going to get a completely different answer. You've got to make sure that you're working with those operations, that you're going from left to right. So again, what that means is here, 12 plus 15 minus 3. Here, addition comes first. So I would add first because I work from left to the right. Down here, the subtraction would come first because I work from left to right. The subtraction would come before the addition. Because, let's see what happens. 2 plus 15 is 17. And then 17 minus 3 gives us 14. We work left to right. Over here, again, if I work left to right, if my my addition subtraction signs are switched, 12 minus 15 is a negative 13. Negative 13 plus 3 gives us a negative 10. We get different answers. So make sure that you're working from left to right. I can't do this addition and then subtract because I don't get the same thing. We have to work left to right. Go ahead, pause the video if you need to. Go back, replay anything I've said so far, catch up, make sure you've got everything written down.